Okay, so Chris and Anders are in the breakout session. Who else having issue to log in to the server? Let me know. Are we all good?
Yes, I was able to do my.
Okay, so this is what I was trying for Anders to do right here, but it seemed to be like, there was a little issue. So who else having issue to access a server, their server?
I mean the comment from what the comment line again the pseudo dash getting in at the comments now.
Okay, I'm coming back to you now. This is just to pass this on. This is where you're going to live throughout the 8 weeks you're going to spend on Linux. There are a lot of commands that you're going to be seeing coming your way. So you have to get used to the command line. So I'm expanding my screen so that we can see this clearly, right? Is it big enough for you guys? Is it big enough?
It's okay.
No, it's too small though.
All right.
And maybe the magnify.
That's what I'm doing. I'm increasing the front size so your life can be easy.
Yeah.
This should be enough for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Linux, guys. You are in the terminal of Ubuntu. You are in the terminal of a server called Ubuntu. Now, Ubuntu is one of the distribution of Linux. When I say distribution of Linux, for those of you that are using Windows computers, right? Can somebody name me 2 distributions of Windows computer? Let's go, guys. Name me 2 distributions of Windows computer. Or are we all Mac users in here? Okay. When it comes to distribution of Windows, we have what? Windows 11, which is technically we call it what? We got Windows Professional Home Edition, right? We have Windows Vista. We have Windows XP, right?
Yeah.
We got Windows 7, we got Windows 8. So those are all distributions of Windows. So when it comes to Linux, where everything going to be happening and where you're going to spend your entire time to become a Linux system engineer is you have to first know the distributions of of Linux. Now, Linux is a server. What do we call a server, guys? A server is a computer that has the capability to perform function beyond ordinary computers. So meaning a server has the capability to provision over 200 to 300 or thousands of computers within it because it has a maximum capacity of memory. It has a maximum capacity of hard disks, which is the storage. It has a super capacity to process information faster and robustly. Like the system is designed to perform on the super way. So we refer to those kind of computers as a server. All right. So Ubuntu here happen to be one of the distributions of Linux. So it is a server. But then when you're working with Linux, you don't see anything called GUI, which is called graphical user interface. You don't see it. It don't give you the ability to see the fine blue screen and be clicking here, clicking here. No, we don't click in Linux. As an engineer, we do not click. We run command to execute our tasks. If you were to spend 5 hours to create things, we'll be using 30 minutes to run one command to get the provisions. So the course you are learning here is called Linux System Administration. So everything you're going to do in here, you're going to do it on the dash screen. Okay? Everything you're going to be doing in here, you're going to do on the dash screen. Now, I ask you guys, after you SSH into your server, you observe that you all were in what? A dollar sign, right? All of you guys are in a dollar sign, right?
Yeah.
So when you get a data sound, it's telling you that you are a less privileged user. You understand? So the word less privileged user means you don't have the capability to perform maximum function, to perform super function on the computer. You have to take authorization from the system. You understand? So because you don't need to have a limitation, technically this is your server that is owned by ABDA. So you should have the capability to become a super user. So this is why I want everybody in here to become a root. When I say become root, meaning I want you to have the power to do things, the power to run any command that you want to run, okay? So to become root, the command is sudo, S-U-D-O, space, dash, letter R. That is the command to become root. So type in that command right now as you see it, and then you hit enter. Instead of the data sound, you'll be seeing the pound sound, or we call it hash. Are we all there? That should be happening in less than 10 seconds.
Okay, the other one probably I missed the comment because I didn't get space.
That's
I was
fine. That's fine. We're gonna be doing break fix here, right? We're gonna be breaking things and be fixing it. So that is fine. So are we all root user on our own system?
Yeah.
So when you are root user, you will see here, you will no longer see Ubuntu, you will see root at IP.
Yeah, I'm saying root.
So you are a root user on your system. Now, let me tell you the interesting thing about Linux, right? Do not be afraid of Linux. It's user-friendly. I mean, it's very user-friendly, but it's also user-unfriendly, right? When you see the dash screen, it kind of intimidates you, but do not be afraid. You can do anything that you can do on Windows, on Linux. Now, let us check what date is today, right? Can somebody tell me what date is today? Today is what, June 7, right?
Yes, sir.
Today,
Okay.
if
Yeah, to Liberia will be the 8th. In America, we say 7, right?
yeah.
Yes, sir.
So tap the command on your system called CAL. Let me tease you a little bit and hit enter. What do you see there?
So me, I'm not yet a root user, so please go.
The calendar for the month.
Calendar 8.
Guys, one thing I want you guys to know, when I'm running command, stop anything you're doing and focus, because I don't go back. So if I run the command, do not say you don't, I mean, you miss it, right? Because you should be looking directly at your screen when I'm running the command.
Okay.
All right. So when I'm running the command, you should look directly on your screen. So the command that I just ran is called sudo -i. It's right here. That was the command I ran to become a root, meaning to switch from the data sound to become a root user. You understand? That puts you on the pound sign. Now what I wanted you to see is the date that you have today, right? To view your calendar. So CAL is the command. And I say type CAL and hit enter. How many of you did it?
Did it?
Yeah, I did, man.
Did it?
And then you see the result, right?
Yeah, it has a calendar.
Okay. Now, let us check the server that we're using. Let's check the configuration of our server. Let's see what processor, how many CPU our server running. So there's a command that we use called nproc, N-C-R-O, P-R-O-C. Type that command and hit enter. It will tell you 1, meaning my server, telling me my server has 1 core of CPU.
I'm saying 1. I'm saying 1. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm saying 1.
Okay. Now let's see.
Right.
Okay, Chris, you back, right?
Yeah, he all set.
Okay, good. All right. So your instructor is back. Chris, I was teaching their brain some more, they're into Linux now. So I try to get teach their brain or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have your official package for them. So yes, you can take over, Chris. So yeah,
Okay.
everyone in here now, they all good. They're in the server. But one thing I want to say before is next week when you come, do not tell your instructor say you can't access your server.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Your server, the process he passed you to access the server, it should be the same process you should master. So tell me, after this session, the part of the recording that will be available when we're accessing the server, go and watch it if you still have doubt so that you can master accessing your server to make your life easy. Because when you come next week, your instructor have a very different topic for you, meaning you're going straight into business. Yes. So when you come next week and get a man hard time again and say you can't access your server, then we're going to take you to the breakout room. And then when we take you to the breakout room, guess what's going to happen? He's not going to wait for you, right? He's going to be proceeding with the class. So we want everybody to stay on course, right? Watch the recording and do these things, practice so you can get used to the system.
So,
Like you said.
so the main
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
please.
so Abraham, somebody was asking question.
Yeah, I think Kelly.
yeah, I want to know if the main server for our class what we're using Ubuntu will be available because maybe probably during the week you want to pop in to go through that step and see whether you will get routed or you'll only be available during the class time or what.
The servers is virtual, is in the cloud. So they're always gonna be available. As long as you have internet access, you should be able to access it.
Yeah, that is your server, Teddy. You own that server. The only thing, do not violate the server. When you violate the server, you pay the penalty. But you own that server, do anything you want to do with that server, okay?
Good.
Run any command you want to run on that server. Do any research you want to do on that server. It belongs to you until you can leave ABDA.
Okay.
Don't come by here tomorrow and say you lost a server IP address. Yeah, I'm not gonna be too happy with that. So those servers are for you, like AB said, it's your responsibility to keep them, maintain them, and have all your credentials saved somewhere that you don't need to be asking for them. All right, AB, thank you for getting them over here. Ernest is all set now. He can access his server through his command prompt.
Okay, yeah,
The
I'm going to
issue
stop
there
sharing.
was that the location he had to keep him in, I had to change the location. And when we did that and then reran the command you gave him, it was able to connect.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. I'm glad that you're able to
So,
connect, Ernest. Yeah.
all right, guys. So the class is almost over. We got 3 + 5, that's 8 minutes. So we're just gonna run a few commands. I think the overall goal of the class today was accomplished. That was to connect your server using your mobile extern. And we went through the practical, not practical, no, but the theoretical part of this, everything we're doing here. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to share my screen. We're just going to run through few Linux command for the next 10 minutes, and then we'll call it a day. And then we can continue next week. Okay. So let's do this. Share my entire screen.
Please, I'm going to work.
Yeah, that's fine. If you have to go, you're
Yeah.
good. The class have been we accomplished what we needed to accomplish today, so I'm happy with that. Okay,
All right. Thank you. All right.
so you're good to go.
Okay. See you guys.
Come here. Okay.
I beg to leave, Chris. I gotta go get my children.
Okay, sir.
And then the new ABDA website, when I try to sign, try to go to my stuff, but it denies me. I don't know.
So what was this class recorded tonight?
Yes, it's been recorded. Not the whole thing though. We forgot. The most important part was recorded.
Okay.
So a few commands, you guys already started running a few commands. You guys did Cal. Cal is for calendar. If you want to go for a specific year, you can type Cal and put the year there. So let's say 2011, right? It
26.
will give you the calendar for 2011. Okay.
Mhm.
So to clear my screen, I hit Control L. Equally so, you can also tap the word clear, CLEAR, and you should clear your screen.
Client.
Okay. These are just basic commands. Date. I think you guys already did date.
No.
I didn't do date,
No.
right? Okay. So date will give you the full date in hours, minutes, and seconds. Okay. And then another command we can run is uptime. Uptime will tell you how long the computer has been on. So this is the raw data for uptime command. This computer has been up for 3 hours, 40 minutes, 29 seconds. It will give you the low average and the one user, how many users are logged into it, will tell you that. If you want to refine the uptime command, there's a handle you can add to it, which is -p. -p means pretty, and you can refine the output. So if you see here, um, it says it's been up 1 hour, 2 minutes. Oh, okay, I didn't read this right. This what we're supposed to be reading. 1 hour, 2 minutes in this format, and 1 hour, 2 minutes in a more human-friendly um format, right? And then another command we can run again. It's called top, T-O-P. So this command, you usually use it to look at if you're trying to find a process ID. So maybe the server is running slow and you want to see what process is running on that computer and be able to get a process ID to kill that process if there's something you're supposed to kill. You can run the top command and it will give you a lot of data of all the processes that are running on the computer, which one is consuming, the PCU percentage, how much memory is using, all the different things. The process ID is right here, and the user running that process is also listed here as well. So if you look here, this SSHD is consuming 3.3% of the CPU. Top command is using 0.3%, or and what have you, so forth and so on. Okay. To stop the process, you're gonna hit Control and C at the same time. It will stop the running process. Okay. Control and C. Now, if I want to clear my screen, I either can tap clear and clear my screen, or like I said earlier, I can also hit Control and L and clear my screen. Are we all there? Are we all there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you want to see what kind of operating system on this computer, right? So somebody asks you, what is the operating system on this computer? There's a command you run to check that. Command is cat etc wildcat release. You can type that command, cat space /etc/star, star, or you call it wildcat, and then release. You got that command? You got it?
Running it.
Okay, I'll take that as a yes. Enter. It gave you the full information about the system we're running. So for the release here, this is Ubuntu, right? It also gave the release version, right?
Yeah, running.
Description and a whole lot of information you can get just from running this command. Okay.
Not doable.
The another command they call lsblk. Now lsblk command means list. ls means list. If you want to list the content of a particular directory, you use ls. So we only have snap in this particular directory. So we want to list the block lsblk. It will give you the architecture of the disk partition. This is the architecture for the disk partition. There's another way you can list the disk partition too. Is another command called df-h. It will also give you the same information, but it won't lay out the partition. If we look here, you can see the differences between these two commands. Can anybody tell me the difference?
What minute is that?
There's a slight
Yeah, see,
difference
I
between
think
the two command outputs. Can anybody tell me?
I think the slot difference will be the mounted and the mount point.
The what?
Mounted on and mount.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a difference, but that's not what I'm looking for.
Oh, okay.
Look at the two information block. The first thing you notice here, right?
Yeah.
Let me redo it. Let me kind of try to separate them. Okay. Then go down a little bit more and recall this one. Okay. I went too far. Let me do it over. Just do 1, 2, and then recall this one. Okay. So first difference you notice here, right? This first command df-h, it will tell you the space that have been used. It will first of all tell you the size of this partition, which is 7.6 gig. How much gig has been used? It tells you that, and how much is available, right? And it clearly lay out the name of this partition. Now, when you come down here, do you see any name of partition here? Not so much, right? It does not give you this, it will give you the size, obviously, but it does not give you how much have been used and how much has been available or is available. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's these two commands give you the same information about the disk partition, but you can get different information depending on which command that you use. I'm just trying to show you the differences between the two commands and what are the information that it gives. All right. What other command can we use again? I think it will show the nproc command, right? Nproc will show you how many CPUs on the system. Yeah, we got one CPU. Okay. I don't want to go into creating files and folders and all that kind of stuff. We'll do that next week. We're just keeping it to basic commands. All right. So when we're PWD means present working directory. And it will tell you where you're at on that system. LL will list all the directories and files you have in this particular location. Okay. So we have config here. If we want to go into any directory, the command is cd, change directory. So say we want to go into snap, cd snap, right? Go into snap with LL. These are the components inside of snap rather. We'll have additional directory inside of snap. So we want to cd into Amazon. Do that. We're in that directory now, LL. You have additional directories and files in here. So you can keep running down the rabbit hole until you can go no more. LL again. We have additional files in here. So sometimes you can go down a rabbit hole too deep until you forget where you are. So if you want to know where you are, you are in PWD. It will tell you the full path. So you are inside of root, snap, Amazon SSM agent, common. This is the path you're in right now. If I want to leave this common directory and go to Amazon SSM agent, how do I do that? CD dot. Will take you back one directory. If we run PWD, what do we see here? Root snap Amazon SSM agent. We're no longer inside of common again. If I want to leave this directory and go back to this directory, I can do the same thing. CD dot dot. If I run PWD where I'm at, I'm inside of root snap. I'm no longer inside of root snap and Amazon SSM agent. So it goes on and on like that. But don't worry about these commands. We have a whole cheat sheet with these commands on it that you can use to practice on your own. When we get into directory creation, creating files, creating content in files and directory, you will know the importance of these little commands I'm showing you here now. Okay? So with that being said, we'll pause for a question for 5 minutes and then we can call it a day.
Yeah, I want to know that in the Ubuntu Linux, it is case sensitive or
Yeah. Linux, yes. When you're creating a file or you're creating a content, yeah, it is case sensitive. But in most cases, we do not use upper cases in Linux. We do use upper cases, but not like that. Say maybe you want to create a directory. Directory is another name for folder. In Windows, you have folders. In Linux, you have directory. You want to create a directory, most time it's a good idea to use upper cases. Most time, not all the time. But if you look at most Linux directories and the files, you're not going to see upper cases. So for example, if I let me just create a directory, okay? mkdir class. So I put class as uppercase, right? Clear my string. If I say ll, class is right here. It is a directory I just created. So if I want to go into that directory class and I use lowercase, it's not going to find it. See there? No such file or directory. So the short answer to your question, yes, it is case sensitive, but most often they don't use upper cases in Linux. Most often. Do they not use it? They use it sometimes, but most often don't. Okay? So let me move our class from here. To remove a directory, the command is rn, which is remove, that's rf, remove file. And then I pull class. If I clear my screen and say ll, we no longer have class in here. Class is gone. That's how you delete directory or files in the Linux system. Now, don't forget, for Windows, you got to click on our, File Explorer, look for the document, right click on it, click delete and something. No, Linux is just commands. Run your command, boom, boom, and done. All right. Any more questions?
yeah, for the command prompt and the Ubuntu is like they have similar features because the command prompt you can use it to even create a file and appear on the desktop. So I don't know if you can still use the command prompt for protocol without using the Linux Ubuntu.
The answer is no. The reason for that, command prompt is not a Linux system. It's a Windows system. The Linux commands are not going to work. If you look at when I was trying to use my command prompt, there's certain commands I was running, it was not working. Because the command prompt is a Windows system. Okay? So if you want to learn Windows, I mean, you can use it on your own, but for this class purpose, we're not going to use command prompt. The only reason we use command prompt because that was another way. It was a backdoor we could take to be able to access that virtual machine on AWS because mobile extend was not working for me. It wasn't working for what's his name too? What's it student name I just helped in the class there? Ernest. It wasn't working for Ernest. So that was another option to be able to access that machine. But don't forget, after we use command prompt and we ran that command, it took us straight into a Linux system. We're no longer inside of Windows again. So don't get confused by it. We use command prompt to be able to access our Linux machine. So as soon as we were able to access that machine, we're no longer in Windows system again. We were in a Linux system. Okay.
All right.
Any other question? Ladies and gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen of the Fourth Estate. All right. If there's no other question, that tells me that we all understood what we did here today. And so far, so good. I'm happy with let me stop sharing now. I'm happy with the progress in the class today. We were able to achieve what we wanted to achieve. So thank you so much, everybody that came on today. We'll see you next week, Friday. But please don't forget, as you leave here tonight, this should not be the last time you're touching your computer. Because you're not going to be doing it to me, you'll be doing it to yourself. The whole class will be way ahead of you. And we're going to have to send you in a breakout room where you're going to miss a lot of things that is going on in the class. So please go practice some of these things. If you have questions, you can post it in the chat. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. But as you leave here tonight, please go watch the video when it becomes available and practice some of these commands, practice some of the stuff we did in class, we do on your own. Keep the credentials for your machine, the IP address, login information, how you use mobile extern. Keep every one of those information to a place that you'll be able to access them as soon as you can. Okay? So thank you so much. We'll call it a day. AB, stay on here. Are you sleeping now? Yeah, I think everybody is gone. All right, so we'll call it a day. My admin, y'all got anything to say before we close the class?
Not quite, Chris. Not quite. Everything went well. Thank you, everybody.
Okay. Solo, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, guys. Thanks for the class. We'll see you guys Friday. Good night.
Bye.
Good night, guys.